Welcome to State of the City. My name is Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter, and it's great to have you click on us today. Again, whether you're checking us out on Facebook, on our website, or on our YouTube channel, great for you to have you here to visit with today. Today is September 3rd. It's Wednesday the 3rd. Summer is over, and I want to mention that school has started in St. Peter, and so traffic patterns are changing. Stop signs, four-way stops are getting busier. Especially during that kind of 7:15 to 8:15 and that after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and as buses drop off kids with some of the new streets that we have and things. Please be extra careful here for the next week or two while everybody's kind of get accustomed to the way things work and to how things are going with school. So with my video blog today, I have two primary missions, two primary goals that I want to cover. First of all is to give you an update from the workshop that occurred just last night, Tuesday the 2nd. We didn't have our meeting on Monday because that was a holiday, so last night, Tuesday the 2nd, is when we had our workshop meeting. And the second is to give you a few tidbits, a few things going about around town, so that you kind of have a feel for what's going on. But first of all, our goals, or workshop, here I'm going to flip my paper clip up. There we go. You can see my little notes there. Those are the three items that we talked about: Washington Terrace land sale, library policies, and Inventus mergers. Let me cover those just quickly. First of all, there's some property on the very north end of town in the Washington Terrace subdivision that the city of St. Peter has owned for a long time. As you might know, we developed that subdivision. And so here's a map of the city of St. Peter, and it kind of shows on the north end. Here's a map of that subdivision. It kind of shows the property. It's a couple acres or so on the north end of Washington Terrace. That's the property there in the bold, outlined with the bold. And so we've had an interested party, and this property has been set aside for quite some time for multifamily development, so apartments or townhome style rentals, those kind of things. So we've had a party that's become interested, and so last night at the workshop we visited with them, and they're looking to develop that with about 23 or 24 units. As you may or may not know, the council, on those properties where we've developed the subdivisions or that the city owns, the council's taken a very active role in the aesthetics, how it's laid out on the lot, what the buildings look like, those kind of things. And so this is no exception to that. So we met with the potential developer for a while last night and talked about some of the issues surrounding that. And so with that input, they're going to go back and decide, God, are they really interested in this? Aren't they? Are there some things that they want to see changed? How does it all fit together? So some of those things are, how does it look? Some of it is handicap accessibility. We want to make sure that there's at least one apartment there that's handicap accessible, that's multi-bedroom. That's been a request of the council for the last couple of years. That it fits on the lot appropriately, and frankly that it has a design that works within the design standards that are in that neighborhood. And so three really big things there that they want to make sure takes place. So the council sent them back and sent us back to do some more work and figure out how to make that go together. It may go forward, it may not. Stay tuned for that. We'll see how the developer responds to some of the requests that were put in place last night and whether we can make it all fit together. So watch for that. The second is library policies. Again, here's the agenda. Library policies is on there. So the library board had put together really a revision. Every 5 to 7 years they look at doing a revision of their library policies, and so we're on that cycle. So this was an opportunity for the council to see that latest revision, and they had a few changes that they wanted to see, but that'll come back to them probably on September 22nd. It'll come back to the council for final ratification. The last one that I want to mention is an Inventus merger approval. Whether you knew it or not, in St. Peter, Hickory Tech has a franchise agreement. Now that doesn't relate to the telephony services or the telephone services that they provide. It really relates to what we would classically call cable television, and all those lines about what's cable TV and what's internet, and all those things are getting all blurred. But they have an agreement with us based on the 1934 Telecommunications Act passed by Congress, and we can talk about that for a long time too. But here's how it works. If they're going to sell or merge or transfer ownership, they got to have approval from the city of St. Peter. Not just us, but some of the other folks that have similar agreements with them, some of the other communities that have similar agreements. And so that's something that has to be approved. I will mention, though, that our overall franchise agreement with them ends in another year or so, and so there'll be another opportunity to take a look at that more fully. One of the reasons for this transfer approval was that, God, in the olden days, there really wasn't much competition. And St. Peter still is unique in that you can choose from a couple of different video providers and telephone providers and internet providers. Not a lot of communities have those kind of choices, but you do here. And so one of the goals of having that regulatory authority is to ensure that whoever was new, the new owners of the company, would make sure to maintain those standards at the level that was set as a part of the original agreement. And while that's still important, and we still want to make sure that happens, it's probably less of a consideration here in St. Peter because there's competition. So if somebody really is bad at doing this stuff, then you change who you're buying services from. And so the private sector competition will hold up the standards. Where in lots of instances, where in communities where you only have one choice, that regulatory function is what holds up those standards potentially. So anyway, what's going to happen is that the council is going to approve and allow for this merger to take place. That is from Hickory Tech to the new entity, which is called Inventus. And then in the next year or so, we'll start to have more discussions about new franchise agreement and how that all fits together as well. So anyway, watch for that if you're interested in that kind of stuff. It's really important. You know, how we have video service, internet service, telephone services are really important to our community, our quality of life, and to businesses, obviously, within our community as well. So watch for that coming forward. Now let me get to a few tidbits. Again, schools in session. Watch for changing traffic patterns, bus stops, all those kind of things. Be extra careful out there during the early morning hours and the late afternoon after 3 o'clock hours. Also want to mention that North Washington Avenue now is the painted stripes and things. There's still some work to do out there. There's still some trees and bushes and other things in some area near the MVED building, or what many people might refer to as the old district office, or what some of the folks that have been in town for a long time might view as the vocational school building. That building out on Davis Street. So there's still some work going on in that area. I also want to mention that Sunrise Drive is closed for a few hundred yards between Highway 22 and where old Washington Avenue came down the hill. So you're going to have to change your traffic pattern for that. That'll be closed for a couple more weeks, so watch for changes there. And also on the end of 5th Street, the north end of 5th Street, that interconnects with Highway 22, that area is closed as well. Last, I want to mention that we have some jobs that are open here. We're looking for a new public access production assistant. So those are the folks that tape the council meetings and the school board meetings. We need a new assistant for that, another one. And then we're going to have a part-time payroll clerk position open. So watch for that on our website. Check it out on our website and you'll be able to see how to apply and put that all together. Now, with that, I got to mention our good friends at Rivers Edge Hospital, Best Care Anywhere, doing some cool stuff. So watch for some of the ongoing changes there. Some of the changes they're going to make in impacting our community, so we're excited for that. And I gotta always mention this with our fancy graphics that I always have. There's where you can email me. There's our website. We'd love it if you would like us on Facebook. And there's a phone number where you can give me a call. Now with that, I'm going to click my button and turn off, but we really appreciate you taking the time to view the video blog. And if you have questions or you have other topics that you want to make sure that I cover as a part of a future video blog, please let me know. Here are some of the ways that you can let me know. We're always happy to visit about stuff. Check out our hot sheet. Check out the council meetings on television. We're always happy to visit with you. Thanks a lot. Have a great rest of the week.